They want to do $13 billion in cuts to non-defense programs such as mental health and substance abuse treatment and workforce training. It's not like it's not exactly a clean resolution bill that was previously agreed upon. It's just ridiculous. And it's totally, even if it was a clean resolution, I don't think the Democrats should go along with it until they get firmly held assurances on a bunch of shit that the Trump administration is trying to do.
Trump and the Republican Party as the House passed.
Talking about the funding bill, it passed in the House. There was one Democrat that said yes, and one Republican that said no. I forget who the Democrat was that said yes, but it is going to get to a standoff. It's going to be held up in the Senate
To avoid a government shutdown.
The House bill now goes to the Senate, where Democrats face a dilemma. Should they pass Trump's agenda or force a government shutdown?
They should force a government shutdown actively. And also, remember, there's two sides to every negotiation. You don't have to force a government. Yeah, Jared Golden is the Democrat. Thank you. You don't have to force a government shutdown, as a matter of fact. It's just entirely dependent on the Republicans and how many concessions that they will give to the Democrats.
They don't like either.
But remember, when Democrats...
So claiming that this is on the hands of the... claiming that this is in the hands of the... Oh, my God, this guy's still talking about being a foreign organization. Jesus Christ, dude. Chatter. You cannot... You just... Do you like the First Amendment or not? Okay, do you like the First Amendment? Do you think that free speech is good or not? If you say no, you don't like the First Amendment, you don't like free speech, then that's fine. At least you're recognizing that. Then we can have a separate conversation about how that will inevitably loop back around and harm you as well.
Democrats railed against government shutdowns
You
in the
can't
past.
just go but on this issue. We are not in Israel, okay?
Reopen government today, and he should.
And when you multiply those federal workers by their family members, the people they love and care about and who rely on their steady paycheck to survive, you get a better sense of the pain that the president is causing with his shutdown.
So there you go. That was a different mindset, perhaps. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson joins us now with his first interview since that critical vote, which delivered, you lost one Republican, you got Jared Golden, 4 Democrats. Mr. Speaker, how much pressure is now on the Senate to do what you did?
Well, huge pressure, Brian. This was a big night in Congress last night to get that done. We passed a clean, simple bill to keep the government funded for the rest of the year. And every Democrat, except for one, in spite of all their previous sayings about how disastrous it would be to shut the government down, they all voted to do exactly that. So now the ball is sent over to the Senate. And Chuck Schumer has a big decision to make. Is he going to cast a vote to keep the government open, or is he going to be blamed for shutting it down? And that's clearly, very simply, what they have to decide. And I hope they do the right thing, because government shutdowns, as they all said there on video and have said 1,000 times, is harmful for everybody. We don't need that.
Yeah,
Mr. Speaker,
It's ironic because they want to shut down the government. Like, they are shutting down the government. They're actively shutting down the government, while simultaneously saying it's the Democrats that want to shut down the government by not passing the spending bill. It's like, yeah, no, they're actually trying to stop you from shutting down the government permanently.
There'll be some change in the process. I know Thomas Massey. I know you know Thomas Massey. He's been the same ever since he was elected. And there's been one issue that he's railed against his entire career, which is the spending. And the president, I know, is on the same page when it comes to that. That's why he has Doge. Is there a way to bring them both together? He's not anti-MAGA. He is MAGA as well. But I think they're coming at it from different parts. He wants regular order. Will we get that?
But yeah, of course, everybody.
They want to do $13 billion in cuts to non-defense programs such as mental health and substance abuse treatment and workforce training. It's not like it's not exactly a clean resolution bill that was previously agreed upon. It's just ridiculous. And it's totally, even if it was a clean resolution, I don't think the Democrats should go along with it until they get firmly held assurances on a bunch of shit that the Trump administration is trying to do. This is how you play ball, okay? Republicans quietly cede power to cancel Trump's tariffs, avoiding a tough vote. House GOP leaders tucked the provision into a procedural measure needed to pass a government spending bill. Is this a 60 vote or a majority vote? No, it's a 60 vote. If it was a majority vote, it'd be cooked. They need to have a filibuster-proof majority. They need to have 60 votes to be able to pass this. Okay? The Democrats should use this opportunity. This is one of the best opportunities the minority party has against the government. It is one of the last remaining things that the Democrats have in their hands to be able to stop this from passing. Spoiler, they won't. No, they will. They've said that they will. Getting 10 Democrats in the Senate, aside from John Fetterman, who cancels out because there is also what's his face? Ramen Noodle Hair, Ron Paul's son, Rand Paul, who is going to vote against this. Yeah. Senator Schumer said Democrats have the votes to block the House spending bill. Our caucus is unified on a clean April 11th CR that will keep the government open and give Congress time to negotiate bipartisan legislation that can pass. We should vote on that. They are activists here. It should be very clear to every Senate Democrat that any vote for cloture will also be considered a vote for the bill. People aren't going to be tricked with procedural games. They know exactly what's going on. Defend Medicaid, vote no on cloture, no on the bill. Yeah. A vote for closure is a vote to gut Medicaid. A vote for closure is a vote to abandon seniors, veterans, and working families. A vote for closure is a vote to rip healthcare from those who need it the most. They think they can sneak this through, dress it up, play word games that American people see it for what it is. Cruelty, says Last Day With You. Yeah. Can the U.S. House Republicans cut $880 billion without slashing Medicaid? The answer is no. They can't do that. Anyway, let's get back to this.
He wants regular order. What my friend Thomas Massey missed yesterday is that the vote was to allow this administration to continue their work so that we can bring about all these big changes for the FY26 budget. That's the one we start immediately after FY25 is off the table. That's what everybody's excited about. So what will happen is the Trump White House, the administration, will send to Congress a budget that requests to spend less money. Why? Because we're going to be able to incorporate all the savings that DOGE is uncovering and finding, all of the innovations that the Trump administration and his extraordinary cabinet are bringing about to change the way the federal government works. This is the Super Bowl. This is the moment we've all been waiting for our entire careers. And finally, the stars have aligned so we can do that better. It's going to be great for the American people, a more efficient, effective government that uses their precious resources, their taxes, in a more responsible way. And we're excited about that.
And Mr. Speaker, government funding still does run out in 2 days. And so you guys have passed it. So essentially it's the playoffs. You're getting to the Super Bowl. You've got to have the Democrats vote for it. And you need 7 to start the process. The conventional wisdom is, because the Democrats had an hour-long meeting where they said, we can't make it look like we're giving Trump a win. And so we have to oppose it. And that's why everybody on the Democrat side has been opposing it. The conventional wisdom is they're going to do what you guys have done in the past, and that is they'll have 7 Democrats walk the plank, vote for closure. Then when it comes up as a bill, every one of them is going to vote against it, and you're going to win. The Democrats are going to lose in the Senate because there are more Republicans, and they're going to get with a simple majority.
Yeah, look, Chuck Schumer has to decide all that strategy and that math, but I think they need to put the partisan politics aside. This is not a win for the Trump administration. This is a win for the Americans. It shuts down. You have government employees who are no longer paid. You have services that begin to lag. It brings...
It's so funny to hear Republicans spell out the devastating nature of government shutdowns. Especially when it's their favorite weapon to wield and they have so consistently. And the counter to this is very simple. Okay, then pass a fucking bill that concedes on understandable points from the Democratic Party. You have power to stop the shutdown. The Democrats love to play ball. They want to play ball. They keep saying that they want to play ball to a degree that I don't even agree with them on. So, you know, it's especially funny because like the thing that they are trying to do, the thing that they are trying to fucking do is also destroy the government anyway. Like they want to permanently shut down the government. And the Democrats are coming to the table saying like, no, we don't want to permanently shut down the government. So if you don't concede to us and give us assurances that you won't permanently shut down the fucking government, then, you know, you're going to go to a government shutdown. It's going to be on you.
Great harm on the economy and the people. I mean, military servicemen, men and women won't be paid. TSA agents, you'll start to have long lines at the airports. I mean, Border Patrol agents. We have to keep the government operating. And Congress has a responsibility to do that. And Chuck Schumer has to weigh that today. And I hope he does the right thing. I hope they put partisan politics aside and do the right thing for the people. The House Democrats engage in a shameful display of partisan politics. And I think they're going to regret that vote.
Mr. Speaker, let's talk about the Department of Education. We had Linda McMahon on last week, and she was saying this is just a mandate. She's following the orders from the president, saying that she wants to eliminate the Department of Education, but she knows she needs Congress's help on this. Here she is on the Ingram angle last night.
That was the president's mandate, this directive to me, clearly is to shut down the Department of Education, which we know we'll have to work with Congress, you know, to get that accomplished. But what we did today was to take the first step of eliminating what I think is bureaucratic bloat. Clearly, we're not taking away education. The president never said that. He's taken the bureaucracy out of education so that more money flows to the states.
So, Mr. Speaker, what is your reaction to that? And
148, Emma and Sam were talking about the line item changes in the bill. It's not zeroing out funding for agencies. It's not clean. Wait, at 148? You mean 1 hour and 48 minutes?
Here you see a screenshot of part of the budget resolution. And you will see that despite the fact that Speaker Johnson has said this is a clean CR, continuing resolution, in fact, there is a series of
Yeah, that's why it's ironic when fucking Michael Penis says nobody wants to see a government shutdown. We don't want these federal employees to not get paid. Also, if you don't fucking vote for this bill that says government employees will not get paid, you want government employees to not get paid. Like, what do you mean, dude?
Slight changes. $0 for the Department of Agricultural programs. In other words, this is line 16. It's going through different lines in the original continuing resolution and saying substitute whatever huge number was there in terms of billions of dollars for zero. $0 for Department of Energy programs, energy projects. In Section 204, by substituting zero for $13,045,000 in Section 530 by substituting zero for $38,414,000. And now, I'm not even sure if that's million or billion because I don't see the original, but those numbers look like million to me. Substitute in Section 542. Now, I don't know what 542, but the point being that there's a series of these things. It is not a clean continuing resolution.
Yeah. It's not.
will she get the support of Congress to shut it down?
We're fully in support of what Secretary McMahon is saying there. She's talking about efficiency and accountability. She's talking about directing resources to the places they matter the most, and that's to the hands of the local school boards, to parents who can direct their children's education, with the assistance of the teachers there local and closest to the people where it really matters, where they can make those decisions. For too long, the Federal Department of Education has been pushing down federal mandates, using taxpayer dollars in an inefficient manner, and enriching teachers' unions, okay? The results are really regrettable. We see that America is falling behind other countries in education standards and in the test scores and all the rest. So this is a time for change. I think this will serve students, parents, teachers, administrators better to have that down at the local level. And Secretary McMahon is bringing that change about. This is a long time coming. You'll have greater choice for parents and students.
Yeah, you know what I think about? When I think about people who are just the parasitic force suckling on the teat of the federal government, I think a teacher is getting paid like $38 grand a year that have to do Uber after they're done with their regular workday so they can buy supplies necessary for their job out of their pocket. That's what I think. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Teachers deserve less, dude. That's what I think.
You'll have a lot better outcomes, I think, and this is something we all applaud.
Right, now we got all eyes on Friday, Saturday, right? The deadline to see if we get this budget passed and we fund the government until September. Thanks so much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Super corrupt. Yeah, John Fetterman came out and said, by the way, that he would be in support of passing this bill because he's a fucking baboon. I will never have to shut the government down. I have brain damage.
How about we stop sending bombs to kill children? Here we go.
Pick the fighter to shut the government down.
Excuse me. This is designated state opposition. You guys cannot be here. You guys cannot be here.
How are we getting humanitarian aid to Gaza?
Senator.
When the United States is violating
Oh, they're filming me too. I don't expect that.
I can't focus on your words. Bro, you know people are going to clip that and say the tolerant left? I don't give a fuck. When have I ever been tolerant to psychopathic monsters, dude? Yes, I'm not fucking tolerant. You know why? Because I'm not a goddamn pussy, okay? That's it. I'm sick and tired of motherfuckers who are like, oh, so much for the tolerant left. Like, what do you mean? When have these guys been tolerant? Yeah, fuck this guy. You can cry bully all day, every day. You can be like, oh my God, I can't believe you how mean you are to fucking psychopathic, bloodless monsters like John Fetterman. Yeah, dude, I'm not. I'm sorry. I have no tolerance. Yes, I bully bullies, okay? If that makes you sad, I don't know what to tell you, okay? Go somewhere else.
John Fetterman. Guys, please, we're trying to do our job here, people. We're trying to do our job here.
Senator, where are you on the CR plan?
Well, on the CR? I mean, I've been very clear about it. I mean, there's no new news on that.
Are you a yes?
I've already said that. I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's no news. And now you're going to have to make that choice. It's like, are you going to shut the government down? Or are you just going to say, hey, I disagree with many parts about the CR, but it's like that's where we are. Or if there's some kind of a process where that they can essentially strip the filibuster requirement, and then if they raise the
Why enjoy your little echo chamber? Sick. Dude, enjoy your grandparents fucking dying because they don't have Medicare anymore, okay? Like, what do you want me to say? I'm fucking fighting for your grandparents because you're too stupid to fucking fight for them, okay? Like, what is this argument? Like, oh my God, look at your little echo chamber. Like, you think it's going to be good for you? You think it's going to be fucking good for you? You think it's going to be good for your loved ones? You dumb fuck? Dudes learn one fucking term and they just like blast it in the chat. It's an echo chamber. I just asked to talk to Asmongold about this. Not this, about the free speech violations coming from the Trump administration. He's the one who didn't want to talk to me. And you're over here being like, enjoy your echo chamber. Yeah, I'm owning the libs, dude. I'm owning the freaking libs, dog. You don't understand. When my grandparents are fucking, when my grandparents no longer get health care, I'll be owning the libs so hard. When my parents can no longer have health care, I'll be owning the libs. I'll be thinking to myself, oh, well, at least the libs are owned, you know?
The debt limit? Well, then that's a double capitulation. And then that means they don't want to just tell and saying, yeah, we are effectively voting for it, but then we can technically say that I voted no on that. And so that's...
So do you have how many of your colleagues do you think will vote along with you to keep the lights on when government funding expires at midnight?
Well, what I'm saying, it's like, you know, for me, I'd never vote to shut the government down. And if you are wanting to, if you don't want to vote for that CR because you want to protect the government and some of the things that I don't agree with that are happening, well, then again, it's like I'm not going to cut the baby in half. It's like so that's the thing. So that's the thing. Yeah, you know.
What about this senator is supporter of genocide, massacre of children. He is cutting babies in half. He cut 20,000 babies in half. You already did that. You voted voted for more bombs to murder. This senator is a mass murderer of children and a supporter of genocide.
Senator, what's your concern about cuts to the Department of Education?
So you're the only babies he supports cutting in half are babies that have been cut in half with American munitions in Gaza. He loves when those babies are cut in half, you know? Also, the fucking journalists are yelling at the pro-Palestinian protesters. They're like, I'm sorry, I know you want to get your fucking quote from the ogre real bad, but, you know, let him have his moment.
Hoping that other Democrats will join along with you and not shut down the government, correct?
Yeah, if you had any fucking honesty or decency as a congressional reporter, you would also be asking similar questions about, you know, his unconditional loyalty and support to the apartheid state of Israel. But of course you don't. That's why you're there.
I'm saying that that's the choice. And you can either vote for the CR and not, you don't have to, that means you don't agree with all of it. It's just that we agree that you don't want to shut the government down. And now do you want to risk, having the economy move into a recession? I'm not willing to do that thing. And now if you claim that we want to protect the government by shutting it down, that absolutely will impact millions and millions and millions of people. That's the choice that we have to make. And that's a CR that I know there's not one single Democrat, including myself, that agree with all these elements as well now too. So make that choice. You're going to shut the government down or no, and I'm not going to do that. And that's doing the hard and the right thing right now. And I'm not going to pander to the extreme kind of reaction right now, but that's where we were, and it wasn't that long ago that we were scolding at the Republicans threatening to shut the government.
No, I just don't have any brain processing power beyond, this seems hypocritical to me. Dog, you are repeating what Mike Johnson is saying. Is this guy a moron? Is the question you asked, Chatter? The answer is yes. Yes, he is an absolute imbecile. Asman made it 1 week to follow to chat from 1 hour. Yeah. I mean, look, when Asman Gold's community members come in here, they're usually just telling me that they're going to kill me violently. I suspect that the reason why he wanted to moderate his chat is because people in his own community or people coming from outside of his community are like, hey, why are you wrong about this thing that you've been advocating for? Like on the fundamentals, like just wrong about the facts of a matter. Yeah. Anyway, I forgot to mention two things. One, this is